Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jaidev Keshavan, and this video is brought to you by Razorlight Entertainment. Welcome to GGG Games Path of Exile 3.0, the Fall of Oriath expansion. Of course, this expansion has been updated since then, and I believe it's 3.0.1 or some such. And in this particular gameplay video, we'll be taking a very quick look at the new possibilities, the changes to this game, as much as we can cover and as much as we have encountered, and a beautiful new Huntress build, or also known as Raider Ascendant build that we have constructed. This build is completely custom except for the fact that we use a common skill called Tornado Shot, and we have not actually followed any of the guides online. We have done our own thing. We're going to be taking a look at that. So this is our character. You can see her right here in between the gates. Very sexy, very cool. She has that's a wolf helmet on her head. So let's just take a look at her equips very quickly. This is the Alpha House in a tricorn, and the entire build is built around evasion. So the character uses evasion gear as much as possible. You can see that we have the first one, the Sinner Tricon, with aura boosting gems, cold resistance, and also mana reduction, mana reserve reduction. The Labyrinth mod, which has been enchantment that has been placed on this gear, is not desirable. We need to change that. We are using the drill neck for penetrating arrow quiver to give bonus to pierce and pierce damage. Also, it adds to our evasion rating, which is a bonus. Our armor is the carnal armor, not exactly ideal, but it boosts our frenzy charges, gives us movement speed, more evasion, and everything. It's not top tier gear per se. There are better ones that give about 2000 evasion. Ideally, you can aim for that. You can go get it. But for now, this gear works out very well for us. We're using two Ming's Heart rings that give us chaos resistance and also physical damage as chaos. They give us some energy shield. We're not really using the energy shield much, but hey, no problem. They do reduce our maximum life. As you can see in this corner, we have 1889 life, but if we take off the rings, that amount goes up to 2133. We are going to sacrifice those 300 points, well, 210, 221 points, mainly because we love the chaos resistance and the boost that gives us, the defense that it gives us. This is our bow. It's quite not perfect yet. It has 4 link slots. We want to link the 5th one as well, for which we have to save 150 orbs of fusing. As you can see right now, the Imperial bow gives us more physical damage, increased attack speed, and the very important mod that it gives us is that the hits cannot be evaded. Now what this does for us is that we can use Tornado Shot, and we will never miss our targets. We're not too worried about accuracy. We're more concerned about piercing and increasing damage. That's what we want to do. Technically, when you're using this bow, you can take out your passives with regard to accuracy and add them to physical damage and ailment damage boosting skills. So as you can see in this slot, we have first the Tornado Shot, which is a level 18 20% quality gem. You guys can get these off poe.trade. That's poe.trade website, where you can buy lots of accessories and stuff for your build. We got this 20% quality, well, we got a 17% quality gem at level 1. We have boosted it up to level 18, going to level 19. We also have hooked to it greater multiple projectile support that allow us to shoot a grand total of 1 + 4 5 arrows, which then splits into multiple arrows and then pierce all our enemies, which is like awesome stuff. Of course, when this reaches level 20, we'll be converting this using a gem cutter's prism and a vendor recipe to a level 20% quality level 1 gem, and then leveling it back up again. That won't happen in this video, but maybe we'll make one later on. And we have a physical projectile attack damage support. This reduces our projectile attack speed by 10%, but boosts our projectile damage and also ailment damage quite a bit with bleeding and poison. In this particular build, we've actually focused on bleeding damage more than anything else, but you guys can go all out and go poison, bleeding, max out in your build as well if you so prefer. We have maim support, which basically has a 30% chance to maim enemies on hit, and on top of that, the gem increases physical damage, and maimed enemies also take an additional bonus to damage. So altogether, we have this tool tooltip here, and we do 8,367 DPS per second at level 82, as you can see there. This damage, of course, increases with our frenzy charges, our potions, which we have, and also the onslaught effect, which we get in our ascendancy build, the Raider ascendancy build, which we'll be taking a look at. We have also set up the siege ballista. We should just go to the hideout right now and show you guys how that works out. Give us a second while we change up. There's that beautiful old loading screen, which is pretty cool. So if I load out the ballista here, this is the siege ballista, as you guys can see, and for a time of 8 seconds, this ballista delivers 4,456.9 damage points per second, and that's actually quite a bit. You can just leave these out with difficult bosses with reflect auras, and they will just be destroyed without you getting reflect damage. We also use the blink arrow to move around, which is like that. It creates a mirror image copy and allows us to evade our attackers. Sorry about that. We use Herald of Ash if we need to, but mostly we activate the Purity of Elements aura for elemental resistance and the Grace aura for additional evasion rating. We also have a Frenzy skill in case we just need Frenzy charges and we simply don't have the ability to get it. So I'm just going to disable global chat, whispers, and everything so that we're not bugged during this gameplay video. Sorry if you guys saw anything offensive prior to this. We also summon a lightning golem like so. You guys can, of course, attach all sorts of mods to these golems. Now I know that I can put up an ice golem and get more critical damage and all that, but this golem is pretty cool. It gives me more cost speed, attack speed, and everything, and I'm pretty happy with it. You guys can see that it's basically hooked up here to my gloves, the summon lightning gem, and that's like level 17. I don't know what's going to happen when I put it up to quality 20, but we'll see about that when we get there. These are our gloves. Most of our equipment, as I said before, is evasion oriented, but also carries chaos resistance and other elemental resistance, including lightning, so that we don't get damaged by the mobs. If you don't have max resistance at the end game, guys, you will die in one hit. The belt is also pretty good with resistance. Maybe we could add something better later on, but right now this is pretty cool. We are also using White Walker boots at level 69 with a wonderful enchantment of extra dodge, movement speed, and phasing, which allows us more dodge chance for projectiles. We can just dodge them all over the place, and we also pierce more, which then boosts the damage of tornado shot. As far as our flasks are concerned, we have the overflowing chalice sulfur flask, which gives us more damage and also allows the other flasks to charge very quickly, which are basically hallowed hybrid flasks with better recovery speeds, instant recovery in some cases where we could manage to get that particular mod. We will actually be looking to change this flask's recovery stats later on when we get more orbs of alteration to do it. We also have the Stibnite Flask of Fending, which gives us 100% increased evasion, which is like awesome. I hope I can show you guys that right now. This is our evasion, 16,094. I'll just activate the Aura of Grace, which gives us 27,000 evasion, 64% evade choice. Just activate the Stibnite Flask of Fending. And there you can see goes up to 34,000 and goes up to 68% evasive chance. Just remember that as your evasion rating goes up, it gets harder at higher levels to evade. So you may also want to consider getting on some armor. I haven't done that. I've thought of doing it, but of course the equips take some chaos orb currency to purchase. But it's really up to you. I also have your critical chance is lucky, with another evasion increase effect during that particular time. So I don't know if I can show you guys that right now. Let me see. Yeah, that doesn't exactly show up here, but basically it gives us extra critical chance. So that's where we are right now, guys, and you can see the character running around this awesome hideout. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play some maps. We're going to show you the clearing speed of this particular build during a map game. We're not really on the high tier maps yet, but what we're going to do is we're going to try the pit map right here, so we're just going to activate that. At this point, my focus is basically to run more maps, get more experience, and level up pretty quickly. So I'm not really interested in killing the bosses, but we're going to try as much as possible. So you can see that one of the big advantages of this build is that we can attack from really far away. Just keep activating your flasks and use them as you go forward. You can really shoot pretty far away, get lots of kills. And you can see, if you see anything on the screen that's strange, just kill them all. There we go. They're all dead. It's very difficult to out damage the tornado shot build. It is pretty awesome. You can push this heavily. One of the builds that I've seen out damage this is the freezing pulse build, which can do insane damage, but you don't really need so much damage as you go forward in this game. As you can see, these blue mobs just disappear. If you are confronted by too many blue mobs, remember to use blink arrow and just get the hell out of the way, just like that. All right. Let's take the silver coins. Oh, we're gonna activate our filter. I would recommend GG Endgame filter, which is actually pretty cool. Gets rid of the unnecessary stuff on screen, allowing us to take only what we require and nothing else. It is entirely possible that I will die in this gameplay video. I'm not like an expert player or anything, but most of the time, at least leveling all the way up to 82, the only time I die is if I face bosses and without preparing, or if I get a weird aura that I have to be very careful about. Reflection auras are a serious problem because once you enter the aura radius, you can die pretty easily. We run a pure physical build so that we don't have to worry about elemental reflect auras. That's why you see we basically have physical damage and chaos damage, nothing more. But going forward, you can run an elemental build because either way, sometimes monsters are going to come up with physical damage reflect auras, which are just bad enough because I can just die in one simple physical reflect, because I have only 1,189 lives, and if this reflects, I die. So I have to be very careful. You have to watch the map, find out if the boss on the screen. Hey, Chaos Orb, we got it. We have to find out if the boss on the screen has has physical reflect auras. If you see a reflect aura, get the hell out of the way. Try to use the ballista as much as possible. Remember that you'll have to set up your flasks very easily because, you know, the flasks are very important in the late game to keep you alive no matter how robust or steady your build is. It's really all about the flask. You can randomly shoot... yeah, just a moment. Yeah, you can randomly shoot your tornado shot to the edge of the screen in order to kill stuff. And remember that if you get any problems, blink arrow away. This is very important. Get the hell out of the way. Do not try to be John Rambo and stay in the fight if you're going to die, because you can lose experience much faster than you can get it at the end game. You lose a lot of experience, very difficult to get back. And in the beginning, you don't really run very high-end maps, so you just want to be careful about it. Or you can just party up with people and run some seriously high-end maps, and that way accumulate a lot of experience really fast. Remember that the higher tier maps give you more experience. It's that simple. Alright, so there you go. They just sneak up on me like that. So I'm just going to drop the ballista right there and deal with these chrome domes. Oh yeah, there's a boss. So what you do at this case is you just leave the ballista to take care of it. You just stay the heck out of the way and let the ballista take care of the enemy for you. And it's really good. You can even give the ballista Culling Strike gem, which kills any enemy under 10% health, and that's like fantastic. Make sure that you check the health of the golem and the ballista as you go forward. If you're a totem type build, you can actually transfer your entire damage to the ballista and let it just do all sorts of living hell. I have thought about it. There we go. So we get out of the way and we just drop the ballista in there, let it do its job. When this bow is complete, I'll be adding elemental Culling Strike to it, and once that's done, the clearing speed should just obviously go up. You guys can look at the experience per hour. We have already racked up 59 million per hour, which is decent enough at a low tier map speed. It's actually pretty fantastic. Remember to keep moving. If you see anything, oh, those guys are Harbingers. Now Harbingers are really hard, and you gotta respect these guys. especially at the high-end level, they really spawn pretty quickly. They can have auras. They can just completely cream you if they have a resistance, anti-physical resistance mod for my build, or an elemental resistance mod. These guys can have literally anything, and the goal is basically to kill the enemy as fast as you can, so that the Harbinger, the blue guy spawning stuff, disappears, and he drops all these shards, which you can then pick up, and you get the currency that you can use to do different things like morph items, craft stuff, and everything. So I'm just going to pick that up. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about in just a second. But remember that agility, smartness is very important. You have to be really smart when you play. Don't just walk in there like King Kong and try to steamroll your enemy. If your build is not a marauder with a big fat ass axe to help you out, you're probably going to die. So be very careful, just like right now. Yeah, those are champions. That's why they have blue names on the top, so you got to be pretty careful. Toss in your ballista. Oh, we got a unique monster right there. So he's coming right through, so we're going to try and play him as much as we can. We're going to try and beat him at his own game. Oh, Jesus. And we're just going to get out of there. Okay. So he's actually defeating us. So we're just gonna put the ballista up right here, and we're gonna have the ballista do the hitting for us, and there we go. Pit map completed. So that was the boss. Now, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I didn't want to fight the boss, but I ended up doing so anyway. So here we are. Well, I really didn't want to fight the boss. I didn't want to lose my experience, but as you can see, this build is pretty robust. It can do its job very, very well. So you guys don't have to worry about that. Oh god, there's another Harbinger. Be careful, guys, of Harbingers. You gotta just get the hell out of there, and get your golems back on and everything. Yeah. Just get your stuff back on. Get out of the way. Don't go toe-to-toe on a raider build with max evasion. Do not enter melee range of these guys. There's no need for that. It's a waste. It's not going to get you anything. Get out, get out, get out. So you can see how fast our health reduces if we are compromised. So we don't want to get compromised. We want to take our own sweet time. There's nothing to worry about. Get out of the way. Now remember that because of a new system in Path of Exile 3.0 called the, that's not here right now. If you press the Y key, you open the Pantheon. So this is a new feature called the Pantheon, which gives you Major God and 1 Minor God power. My Major God power reduces physical damage, increases movement speed, and increases my chances to avoid projectile damage. And you can actually unlock the grayed out powers by capturing bosses of various maps by using the Divine Vessel item along with your map item in the Atlas. And as a minor god power, I have the Unaffected by Burning Ground and Reduced Fire Damage Taken While Moving skill, which is why I can stand on the Harbinger's blue fire and not die. So again, remember that our preference at all times is to not die, because you're going to have a massive EXP penalty and you're going to really hate it. So oh god. And I got logged in. This is one of the things I really wanted to avoid in this particular iteration. I just wanted to avoid this at all costs, because getting toe-to-toe with these guys is a bad idea. I really didn't want to do this, but the build is robust, so that's important to remember. We can take these guys on. We will take them on. We will win. And I sound like a politician when I say that, but yeah. Now remember that when the bow is complete, you can actually have Culling Strike attached to it. I don't have that right now, but if I had Culling Strike, trust me, these monsters would be dead even faster. But even then, I'm going to be a little careful about this. Remember that you can use Blink Arrow to get a copy of yourself, a mirror copy that will take some hits for you and distract enemies. So we have some good level 73 stuff. The filter makes sure that I don't see all the garbage on the screen. I just see the good stuff. So GG's filter, as we call this. I'm not really sure what that filter was. GG endgame filter is pretty cool. Don't save anything. So you can use that. And you can just pick up the stuff that you absolutely need. These are breaches from the previous league. I'm not interested in breaches, so I'm just gonna avoid that. I don't need the tension right now. That was really enough. Oh God, be very careful when you do take care of the harbingers, guys. They leave a lot of crap behind. Right, we're done. And Blink Arrow can also be used to really travel around. So the Pantheon is something introduced in the Fall of Oriath expansion campaign. Along with many other changes to the map, they also added the Pantheon, which allows you to get god powers, as I said before. Pretty cool, actually. They make the game a lot easier for us. At the same time, the new enemies that have been provided, especially that flying chaos minion dude, does an incredible amount of damage. We'll see if it can show you that. Get out of the way! Yeah, don't get too close to enemies, guys, with this build. This build, the Raider build that we're using, it's not for getting close to enemies. That's not the purpose. So don't try to do weird things. It'll just get you killed. It is pointless. Our job is to just murder stuff from a very long distance. That's what we are. We're like a sniper. Well, we're not a very fragile sniper, but still a sniper nevertheless. So there you go. We actually cleared this map, I think. We did finish the map, of course. Yeah, we finished it. As you can see, we have completed all of the map. Yeah, it's done. Yeah, except for the little bit over there. I think we can do that very quickly. But yeah, map's done. Now, if we didn't actually lose XP upon dying, I'd just die and go back to the beginning very quickly. But if I opened a town portal at this point, I will spawn in this part of the map. I want to go to the beginning of the map, so we're just gonna use Blink Arrow and just teleport ourselves all over the place. Remember to experiment with the build as you like. You can really go either way. I've thought of going max out armor instead of evasion. There's a skill you can take for that, and that gives you maximum damage reduction, which is fantastic. But I didn't want to lose my evasion rating, so I didn't really do that. Another way to activate dormant mobs is to drop your siege ballista instead of yourself in their midst, and the dormant mobs will activate, which is pretty cool. Remember to use your tornado shot like napalm when you go forward. Just ice, glass the area as you go forward, and just make sure that nothing creeps up on you. You don't want to get into a toe-to-toe melee fight. You're not a marauder. It's not your bloody job to melee hit enemies and get in their face and all that, which is also why we don't have the point blank skill. We have the far shot skill. The point being that point blank increases damage as we are closer to the enemies. We don't want to be closer to the enemies. We want to be as far from the enemy as possible, because that's what gives us max out damage. And you can see that with this particular build, elites, enemies, champions, everybody just melts. Everybody melts, and it's a very, very solid build. That's it, guys. The map is done. So I was going to show you the currencies that we have, and also the build that I'm using to do this. We clocked 56 million experience per hour, and we still have a long way to go in terms of allotting points. That is, I'm talking about skill points. So this is a magic plate. We don't really need magic plates. We're just going to sell them off. If they're rare plates, we use the chaos recipe, chaos orb recipe, and just store everything in a stash over here. These are all the elements that I have to use. I'm just going to put that up. You want to save all your level 70 plus equipment so that you can put them in a set and then sell them to any vendor in order to get a chaos orb, which is like awesome. We got this pit map map drop, so it's just going to identify it. It's the same pit map, but monsters reflect 13% physical damage. We do not want this. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a scouring orb. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to alch this map, which gives us more magic monsters, avoid elemental damage, skill chain 2 times, monster packs, reduce flak charges, which is great. We do not want reflect physical. We do not want that. It's horrible for our build because what we do is physical damage. We don't do elemental damage, so we want the physical damage reduced as much as possible. So as I was telling you, I need 150 orb of fusing to get a 5-link socket bow. or I can just buy it with the chaos orbs I have. I don't want to do that. I just want to craft it. So the reason I use this is for the hits can't be evaded. That's like important, because if you guys look over here in my offense with the tornado shot, my chance to hit right now is 100%, but the chance is checked twice. That is, when the monster is hit, it's checked if the accuracy hit chance is used to check if the monster gets a critical hit, and then it's checked again to see if the critical hit actually hits the monster. So you really don't want at any point of time for your critical hits to not hit the monster. You really want to pierce and kill them all. Of course, it's really up to you. You can take the chance. I have bleeding damage as well per second, which allows me to just hit the monster and then run away and let the monster just bleed out, and you still get the experience from it, which is pretty cool. I also have poison damage, 908 per second. But let's take a look at the currency. These are, of course, the chaos orbs, which are like standard currency on PoE.trade for buying stuff. We have the Orb of Annulment, which removes a random property from an item. This is the Orb of Horizons, which comes with the Harbingers, and it allows you to reforge a map to another map of the same tier. So we take the Cavern map and we just use the orb on it, it becomes a grotto map, so on and so forth. We also have these, the Orb of Binding, which upgrades a normal item to a rare item with up to 4 linked sockets, which is pretty cool. And of course you have the Exalted Orbs and everything. That's as usual. And that's basically what we have. So we have accumulated a lot of currency using this build. So you can see that it is efficient. It's good. It just works. It's that simple, guys. It works. And we have a lot of other items accumulated here for our different builds in the Harbinger League as well. Lots of gems, which we have lined up very nicely on the side. We have a Divination card. We're just going to make sure that's slotted in the right place. And then we'll go back and redeem them at Tasuni in Highgate later on. If I said that correctly, if I didn't, forgive me, or don't. I don't care. So those are our armor scraps. We put everything in the stash. We'll just store the identification scrolls as well. And put that there. I have some equipment here for my other characters, which I keep. So there we go. We just ran a map and just cleaned it out really fast. Remember to keep going, keep moving, keep killing. That's how you succeed in this game. That's how you have to be very careful to not die. That's like very, very important. That's it, guys. So I'll just show you my passive skill tree. This is my ascendancy tree. For my raider class, and I've taken evasion, rapid assaults, and which gives me the onslaught effect with bonuses during onslaught to evade. And I've also taken the frenzy charge duration, which gives me frenzy charges on kill or for hitting a rare or unique enemy. After that, I will also go all the way to Avatar of Slaughter to get more frenzy charges and frenzy charge bonus. That's in the Uber Lab, or also known as the Ultimate Labyrinth. You guys can also go for Avatar of the Whale if you want more elemental damage, but that's really up to you. This is my skill build. A very quick overview. We have taken a lot of evasion and attack damage increase skill nodes. So you guys can pretty much do whatever you want, but these passive nodes really boost my evasion and bow damage. And also the dodge over here, which allows me to, well, obviously dodge attacks. I'm actually going up to take more of movement speed, dexterity, increase life, frenzy charges, damage over time. You can take all of that. You can increase your critical chances as well if you want. It's really up to you. At this point, the build is really flexible. I've taken life nodes to increase my life, obviously. More bow damage on the southern part of the tree, bottom of the tree, more movement speed, physical bow damage, etc. I'm not actually boosted my bleed damage as much, except for this particular passive node at the very bottom of the tree, which allows me to do more bleeding and poison damage. I have taken point blank, but I'm actually going to get rid of point blank and do something else, because point blank for me is useless, because I want to kill targets at a distance. I don't want to kill targets as they come near me. That's like just a little dumb. And I also have far shot, so I can actually get that point back with a lot of refund points remaining. We can put that pretty much anywhere we want. We can take a life, or we can take more strength. We have, these are our attributes right now: 125 intelligence, 96 strength, 331 dexterity. Strength is important because you want your skill gems to level up, but it's really up to you. You guys can go for whatever you feel like. I've already exhausted this tree. We can go anywhere we want, honestly. We can even go for more attack speed. We can go for physical damage and ailments. We can go for movement speed to avoid being stunned. So many things that we can do here. It's really up to you. Go for whatever you guys feel like. Attack speed, accuracy rating, critical strike multiplier. Lots of choices. Lots and lots and lots of choices here. Like physical damage and reduced reflective physical damage, actually. Also a critical chance. Don't really need the accuracy so much. We can also take 20% physical damage, chaos damage, dexterity, all of that. I do want to get these two. I really do. I really do. We'll go with this. So just take a look at this now. Just keep an eye on the chaos and physical damage. We do 8754 right now. So let's see what happens after we do that. 9148. This is a 400 points DPS increase, which is fantastic. And remember that bleed damage is based on your physical damage. This is very important. So the higher your physical damage goes, bleed obviously goes up as well. So it's like everything works together. It's like Hakuna Matata. At this point, you can even take off certain things. Like you can actually take off an evasive passive if you want. It's really up to you guys. I don't really need it, so I don't really need to do any of that. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. We have a 21.1% critical chance. We can actually take that out and add it to the physical because we don't really need a massive crit multiplier at this point. We don't 21%, 18%, 90%, whatever. Doesn't make much sense because we have enough in the physical damage, incredible physical damage. But we're not going to do anything like that right now. We're just going to leave it as it is. I want to take these nodes as well. I take all of this and this. I want to take those. There's much to do. There's a lot to take. Next is these damage over time. Really boost damage over time, which increases bleeding, obviously. So there's a lot of things to do on it, a lot of stuff that we can take. But there we go. So that's it, guys. So that's our build, and it works really well in running maps. They're pretty fast. And I hope you guys will also enjoy making your own builds. We hope to showcase another build very soon on Path of Exiles in our gameplay video. My name is Jaidev Keshavan, and this gameplay video was brought to you by Razorlight Entertainment. Thank you, GGG Games, for providing us a wonderful game in Path of Exiles. God bless you all. Enjoy killing stuff. God bless. Peace.